Look at my toe socks. I'm not really a fan of toe socks, but this one is an exception because there's like something inside of it that is poking my feet. It's like an acupressure for your feet, and I really actually love it. This is not sponsored. I bought this my own money. And if you use my affiliate code GEORGINAFLOWS, you save 10% off. And you guys know I'm a huge believer that everything starts with our feet. And my husband and I have been using this nonstop since we got this. So yay! And as always, I'll be linking it down below. Alright, in today's class, it's gonna be something from one of my flows that I posted on my Instagram, and I'm gonna be linking that down below just in case you wanna check it out. I cannot do the exact same flow because, it is gonna be a little harder to cue that kind of pace. So I'm gonna be doing a different approach, but I'm gonna try to mimic that flow, and I'm gonna be having my phone right next to me just so I can see what is the next one, just to make sure that at least somehow we could copy some of the poses there. Okay, what you will need here is a bolster like this, or any pillow that is thick enough for you to really just like place your hands, arms. It's gonna be something we will use for back bending to warm our backs. Maybe you could do a yoga block, but it's not as smooth. You'll see why. All right, with that said, we're just gonna jump right in. By the way, this is an advanced class, but I always encourage beginners to try, but make sure that you know when to stop, okay? Because I cannot see you, so it will be hard for me to gauge where you're at in your practice. If you're iffy, don't proceed, and be mindful if it hurts, don't push yourself. Okay? We are gonna start down low. So I want you to place your bolster or pillow down in front of your mat. Okay, how I started that flow, I actually like to always warm up my hips and my back and the shoulders before any deep back bends, before any arm balances, or just entirely my practice. So we're gonna place the bolster in front and then place your hands down. Okay, and then you're gonna sit back to your child's pose. Take a deep breath in, breath out. We're gonna settle in here for a little bit, and I want you to really feel every part of your body. Just a very quick present moment here, right? So just focus on one point down in front of you. Breathe in, breathe out, melt down. Good. Now you're gonna slide your arms in front like this, okay? So you're kind of forming now the puppy pose. Onto your knees, adjust the distance of your knees, if it's hip distance or wider, where you feel comfortable to do this, okay? And I want you to really get into your Sphinx and sit back, all right? Puppy pose, okay? So this is your Sphinx with a bolster, and this is your puppy pose. Beautiful. Keep on going. And this is really focusing on the back bend, right? So this is what you're doing here. And I want your arms or forearms down because it actually really engages more your body instead of planting your hands, right? This is a different way to really, press the forearms. You feel that really different type of engagement. Now when you feel that, okay, a little bit warmed up there, you can maybe start to drop your hips down. Okay, now from here, you're gonna adjust yourself. I want you to get really your upper arm now onto the bolster or pillow. So stay here, and you wanna wiggle your butt, and then fully ground the tops of your feet down on the mat. So it's like not relaxed, but you're planting firmly, you're engaging your legs, your thighs are engaged here, and you're feeling your quads, right? So imagine you're gonna squeeze your butt cheeks together, and that's the engagement that I want from your legs, right? You feel that. By doing that squeezing motion of your butt cheeks, you will also lift your kneecaps up. So your knees towards your glutes, right? As you engage your knees, you feel that engagement of the legs. Super strong. The tops of your feet is planting. And look at my knees. It's a little bit hovered from the mat. And then release. Relax. Good job. Now from here, you're going to slide your bolster closer to your chest. Whew. Okay, now find that comfortable spot for your back, right? No pushing, just to where you feel like, okay, that's good. This is a great way to watch a show or a movie, right? You could be on the floor. I like to stretch every time I'm watching because this is such a great way. Instead of you sitting down, rounding your back, you should do this instead, right? Being mindful of our little habits. Just breathe, stay present with the breath. I'm really talking you through because we need that momentum, or that, not momentum, but you can really feel your body. And it's just basically a static type of stretching, right? But nothing forced. I don't like forcing my body. I always like to allow my body to really melt down, either with gravity or sweating or body heat, right? Okay, now we're gonna play with some motion. Okay, you're gonna send your bolster in front to where you can maybe place your forearms and elbows, and then you're gonna play with back and forth. So if you have a pillow, you might be able to roll it forward and back. That's why I want you to have a pillow instead of a yoga block. There. So earlier we did a static type of stretching there, and now we're just gonna do some dynamic work wherein we're moving. Good. Whew. Now we're gonna twist. Hands to a T-shaped position. That's actually what we're just gonna be doing with the bolster, but you might be able to use it more. Left foot up, lift the knee up, cross it to the other side. Just a gentle twist. So adjust to where your body is. Okay, if you are just, maybe in a beginner level, find that space that you're creating in your body without hurting. Okay, back to your center. And then right side up, and then cross it to the other side. Okay, I want you to focus on the pointing the toes, right? You point it down and really engage the quads and open up, right? So I want you to also open up the hips. Breathe. Good. All right, so maybe I'm gonna break it down to different parts, right? And I wanna make sure that I'm following this flow that I'm looking on my phone. Okay, after that, I actually immediately went on a hip mobility. So this is my hip mobility, and this is gonna be really intense. I'm not gonna start with Hanumanasana because I like to warm up in splits, but of course I'm gonna gradually get you there. But again, warm-ups are always different for everyone, right? Because depending on where you're at in your practice. Okay, we're gonna start in a low lunge or Anjaneyasana. Knee stacked below your heel. And then I want you to focus on sinking your hips deeper, right? And the reason why I want it like this is because I want you to just start, and you're not really we're not working on ankle mobility where your knee is in front, right? I just want you to focus on the groin area. We're opening the hips. So you want to really sink and then strengthen, right? You feel that whoop, scooping, and then release, relax. Breathe in. Exhale, you're gonna squeeze everything, tighten your butt cheek, your inner thighs, everything's working, and then relax. Whew. Good. Right, now we're gonna pivot ourselves to our Skandasana or side lunge. Good. Whoop. So if you still have a height, you could put your bolster down here or have your hands guide you. And like left foot is flexed. Toes are up. Good. And then maybe you can start to add some baby pulses. Good. Okay, we're gonna shift Skandasana side so you can cross your hands to the opposite side. Right toes will now point up. Heel is firmly down. And then you could either be up here higher, if you can go all the way down. Being mindful that I want that left foot to be firmly rooting. And then, slowly adding some baby pulses. Opening the groin. And then facing the opposite side for your Anjaneyasana. Drop the back knee down, left knee stacked on the left heel. Untuck the back toes, point it back. Take a deep breath in, reach up. And then exhale, relax this time. Good. And then inhale, stay in this low position. And then exhale, you're going to lift up, squeeze everything. Again, inhale, exhale. It's a different type. Inhale down, exhale, tense. Good. Inhale, and exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, 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 and relax. Inhale. And exhale here, relax. Good. You could do both there. Inhale, exhale to relax. All right. Now we're going to do the Hanumanasana. If you cannot get to your front splits yet, then you could always just have a pillow. So we're going to face the other side. I'll show you the option for if you cannot do your Hanumanasana or front splits. Okay? So you can just like protect yourselves like this, right? Just to where you can. Of course, you could stack more pillows, blankets until you can get here. Or if not, then you're going to start with low lunge and half splits. Right? For other people, you might need to warm up this way. Right? Low lunge, half splits. Now, if you are up and ready, we're gonna start now with my splits warm up. Okay, getting all the way down, if you can do Hanumanasana. Or again, if you can't, you can just skip this part. Okay. From here, breathe. I want you to really feel that you're melted and you're relaxed in that position, right? So you could actually lean onto your front leg. Inhale, squaring your hips. You could add a little bit of a wiggle here, left and right. Already sweating. Yeah. Good. And then come up. So now you're going to press your fingertips down. You could do your hands. I just like to do my fingertips this way, right? So your back knee is planted, your groin is up. Okay, I'm going to rotate my hands in front, getting to the middle splits. You do not need to get into your middle splits, but you're pivoting your legs, right? So your back foot where you face your front splits, which is the left, you're going to be coming both onto the heel. Good. From the heel, now you're going to plant down the inner sides of your feet. This way, right? The big toe mound side. Okay, now you're just going to stretch this way and holding yourself up. If you can't get to your middle splits yet, like me, I really don't have my middle splits yet. And then you're going to rotate yourself to the opposite side. Pivoting your legs now, right? So you're feeling your femur square your hips. And then slowly all the way down. Breathe in, breathe out to fold. You could play with pointed or flexed foot. Or you can just stay to one position. Just feel your body. I know it's crazy, right? It's crazy to think, at least for me, that I'm now warming up in splits. I did not start like that. But eventually, when you really become more flexible, right, your warm-ups also level up, right? That's why I always say do your own warm-ups, because we're all going to be different. Good. And I always like to play with pointed and flexed. and then we're staying. Typically, I'm gonna really stay longer, but because my camera can only be recording for an hour, sometimes 40 minutes if it's really hot, or 30. So I'm trying to really squeeze everything in an hour. Okay, now for my active style of the splits, right? When your hips are really, really more like flexible, mobile, strong, your back bends are gonna be a lot easier. So work on the hips and the shoulders too. Okay, so from here, this is now gonna be a lot more difficult, right? So for me, I like to do this, and then I'm now focusing on the hinging of my hip sockets. Or like not the hinging, but like the rotation rather. So like from there, right, I'm just going tiny gap from the floor or the mat. And I'm really engaging and squeezing my inner thighs. You feel that. Like if you touch your inner thighs, it should be hard, meaning you're engaging it properly, right? And so I'm just basically doing that, what we did, but in a lower manner and just really more focus on engagement, right? Whew, and relax. Whew, how are you doing? All right, Dhanurasana, that's basically our warm-up. Inhale, exhale. Okay, we're gonna do a Paschimottanasana. Inhale, reach up. Dhanurasana is our L-sit. Paschimottanasana is the fold. Good. Now I want you to feel the backs of both of your legs so much that you want to flex your feet. Again, if you cannot feel the fold, you want to lift your torso up to where you can feel. One of the best ways to get a fold in a Dhanurasana or Paschimottanasana is to grab your pillow and really lean down to where you feel that you're following the normal or the natural arch of your back. So I want you to think about tailbone out. So open the butt cheeks and here you're tilting and really get that fold. Breathe. Whew, I love that. All right, I'm gonna set the pillow aside, and now for our first flow. I'm gonna go check a quick. Okay, starting in seal pose. Now we're gonna flow, okay? So our seal pose would be belly all the way down first. Good. And then have your hands out of the mat where you can keep it straight, right? So find the distance where your back is comfortable to arch or back bend. No pushing, no pain, just to where you feel that beautiful back bend that actually is accessible to your body, right? And now slowly you will just crawl maybe your hands towards you so you can lift more up, right? Now my tailbone is really down, my groin. Whew, my navel is up. Now this is gonna be different for everyone, right? Just a lot more. This is gonna be our back bend. So remember, when you're doing this type of seal pose, at least for me, if I'm working on back bend, I like my feet as wide as the mat, right? This allows for opening of the hips as you really lift your back bend. It's just an easier for your back rather than being close, right? That's a huge difference there. So open the toes out or feet. Beautiful. Now we're gonna flow. Okay, hands in front. And then wiggle your butt cheeks. Just feel your body first. You're on a Sphinx pose, right? Elbows are shoulders distance, hands forward. Good. From here, you're gonna tuck your toes under. Okay, from the tucked toes, you're gonna lift your knees up. That engages your quads, and you're gonna hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your body, and now you're gonna drag yourself down, your hands next to your chest to push you back to your child's pose with your curled toes under. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Rolling your spine forward. tucking your chin to your clavicle, rolling it back, sitting down to that child's pose position. Roll forward, roll back. We're gonna do that one last time. Roll forward, roll back. Good. From this position, now you're gonna slide forward and you're not gonna roll. So just slide, drop the forearms, slide your face in front, hovered until you can get to your Cobra. Good. Now again, hips up, child's pose. Doing that again, slide forward, drop to your Cobra, whoop, and back to child's pose. Last one, slide yourself forward, up, Cobra, child's pose. Now we're gonna add some fun movement. This time, rolling your spine, rounding your back, dropping your chest and chin if you can. Toes are up, and then you're gonna lift your chest up. Toes are up. We're gonna try to find our King Cobra. From this, right, you could either have a bend elbows or fingertips on instead of the wrists, and then just find that head and toes to touch. It doesn't have to touch, but that's the goal. Then drop. Good. Push back. Child's pose. Roll your spine forward. Drop your hips. Good. This time, your chests are lifted. King Cobra, look up. Good. Down. Child's pose. And again, roll your spine forward. Okay? Toes are up. You're going to puff out your chest. Beautiful. Look up, King Cobra. And back to your child's pose. Good. All right, now you're gonna slide your face again in front of your mat, finding now your upward facing dog. So planting your hands firmly down, curl your toes under, and upward facing dog. Lift your hips up. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna try to get into our first downward facing dog of the class. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we're gonna wave some more. Roll forward and roll it back. Roll forward and back. You can get a bend in the knees as you roll back, or you could get a straight knees. Just pairing everything with your breath. You're gonna find your own breath here. This is an advanced class. Good job. All right, now knees down. Chest and chin are gonna go down. Lift the toes up. Good. And then King Cobra, sliding yourself up. Tap your toes and head to touch. Back to your child's pose. Good. But this time you're gonna sit up to your thunderbolt pose. Good. This is your Vajrasana. We're gonna get into our camel pose. Just gonna adjust myself. From here, I like, because now we're very bendy. I hope you are, right? We did a lot of those. Now I like my way or my style of camel, cupping my heels with my hand this way or touching my toes, heels. This is gonna depend on you. And again, you're gonna arch the back. Rainbow shape with the side body. And then you're going to puff out your chest as you lift your hips up from your heels. Woo! Camel pose, Ustrasana. Good job. Inhale. And exhale, going back down to your Vajrasana. Woo, same thing as how you entered, the shape of your body. Good. And now you're going to round this way and then reach up. Cactus, back bend, and then round, hands forward. Good. Reach up, cactus, arch, and round, hands forward. Now you're gonna pair it with your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, Exhale. Beautiful job. That's a lot of spine. Everything is about the spine. All right. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, round to tabletop. Beautiful. Curl the toes under, lift the knees. Downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Feet together. Inhale to lift the right leg up. Exhale, drop the left forearm down. Good. And then bend the knee. Core is strong. You should not be sloppy. Okay? Again, inhale to stretch the right leg. Exhale to bend and point the toes to the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale all the way. Woo! Now you're going to really open up the hips as you send it all the way to the right side as much as your end range allows. Slow and controlled. Good. It doesn't have to be. That's hard, I know. But then you're going to get into your straddle position facing the side of the mat. Next is we're going to take our headstands, or you could opt for Urdhva. Okay? In that flow, I'm going to be doing a straddle press up, and then I'm going to do eagle legs, and then another side for eagle legs, right? And then I'm going to go to lotus, and then all the way down back to straddle. But it's going to depend on you, okay? So it's going to look a lot like this. So if you want to just watch me, and then you could go, this is going to be hard to cue. This is not how to get to your headstands, okay? This is a flow from the post. I'm going to do my headstands, but also I'm going to do like a pinch-up version of my hands. Like this. Now, I'm going to lift into a straddle until I could stack my hips, right? You could even come up if you want all the way before you get into your eagle pose, right? So I'm going to bend my right knee to get into my eagle legs. Good. Stacking onto the other, and then straightening the right leg, bending the left knee, sending that belly and thigh compression with that left knee or left thigh, and then I'm going to cross it to the other leg for my eagle legs. Good. Point the toes, and then untangle, getting into my lotus. Since I'm already here, I'm going to end or cross the left leg and then the right on top of the left. Beautiful. From here, this is going to require a lot of hip opening to lift your knees up. But if you got this, then good. Now, you're going to send it down the knees, kind of like a compression, and untangling there, straddle, and then drop to your straddle pose. Whew. I hope you can follow along there. If not, we're gonna go ahead, and then we're gonna face the other side or the back side of the mat. Low lunge. Whew. Beautiful job. Inhale, left hand reaches. Exhale, you're gonna grab the back foot, bend the knee. Good. Kick it towards your bum. Inhale, out. Expand, look up. Exhale, heel to bum. How's the quads? Again, inhale. Exhale, heel to bum. Okay, let go. And now we're gonna do a lot of the side planks. This is that part, okay? So maybe I'm gonna break this flow down to different chapters. So if you want a certain chapter, you could just click down the chapters below if you wanna repeat it, right? Okay, hands planting down, and you're gonna step your left leg back to your downward facing dog. All right, now we're gonna get into our side plank. Roll your spine forward. Roll it back. Feet together. Left leg now will lift up. Earlier we lifted the right, So we're just gonna try to even it out by dropping the right forearm down. Good. And then you're gonna bend the left knee, point it out to the right side. Good. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to bend. Controlled bend, right? So get it from your core. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the core. There. Okay, inhale. Last one, exhale. Beautiful job. Now all the way, you're gonna square your hips and lift your left leg up back to your three-legged dog. Good. Now from here, you're gonna get onto your high plank. One-legged, we're gonna first protract the shoulder blades. Squeeze your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's take our vinyasa, flowing it out. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Okay, good job. From here, roll your spine forward and back. Whoo. Left leg up, breathe in, knee to chest. Whoo. Okay, from here, lift it high, really compress your body. You're gonna pivot your right heel towards the left side so you can turn and face the right. Right hand will come up, right? You could either hug this, or if you're up for that challenge, extend it in front, hold that position. Good. And then you're gonna grab it with your right hand, and then you're gonna come to your Visvamitrasana. I'll show you 2 options, okay, that I did in the flow. This one, and then drop the left knee. Good. We're gonna take our compass or our camel splits. Left hand will adjust to where you can reach your right leg, either the calf, heel, or big toe, whatever you prefer in your camel splits. Whoo, good. Extend, good job. And then right hand up, good. And coming back to that downward dog shape, but with that left knee down, half tabletop, half plank rather, and then extend your left leg back. Good. We're gonna do that again with on the other side. Back to down dog. Feet together, right leg lifts up, breathe in. Exhale, knee to your chest, just so we can even it out. Good. This time, we're gonna do a different approach, right? I like to do that. That right leg, you're gonna cross it outside of the left leg. From there, you're gonna start to pivot now the left heel facing the right side so you can face yourself turning the left side. Good. So now you're in this like eagle pose. Option to just stay here, push yourself back, or push forward. And then again, if you can eagle pose that, lock that foot to the ankle. Right hand up, and then see if you could bend more. The knee. Beautiful. That's hard, and that's okay if you can't do it. Okay, now extend the right knee in front, and then dropping the right knee down, getting into our camel splits. Find your balance with the right hand, grabbing your heel with the left hand, and then kicking that left leg up. Look up, breathe. Good. All right, from here, now we're gonna do it differently. See where I landed? I'm still in this position. You're gonna have that left hand, hook it underneath that left leg. Boom, as you pivot your shin, right shin, to the opposite side of the mat. Did you follow that? Okay, from here, your left hand will plant next to the left foot as you can grab the outside of the left foot with the right hand. Now, you're gonna come into Visvamitrasana on this leg again, but different variation on the knee. Grabbing it or the ankle and then extending. So again, with your Visvamitrasana, you could actually just stay here. This is gonna depend on your flexibility and mobility, but if you can get more deep, you can follow along, lift your hips up. Think about pushing and sending your hips forward as you straighten the left leg. So again, you could grab the ankle if it doesn't reach. This is gonna depend on the bone structure. Now, we're gonna lift the hips and then look to the left side or right side. Good. Hold and sandwich that left arm. You can sit down on the right heel, and then we're gonna get into our flying lizard. This is why it's hard to cue my flows, because it's like literally one asana from another, and we are all different from our level, right? Or where we're at in our flexibility. So it's really hard. Taking a little bit of a break. That's intense to talk. All right, from there, you're gonna lift your heels away from, or your hips away from your heels, sandwich that left arm, right? And then plant your hands to your shoulders distance apart. And then from here, you could just actually chaturanga arms here if you cannot get to your flying lizard yet. Otherwise, if you have that strength, you're just gonna try to extend that right leg first, lift the knee from the mat, and then maybe leaning forward and see if you could lift that right leg up. So that what drives this right leg up is your right glute butt cheek. And then drop. Ooh, now sliding yourself forward to your pigeon pose. We're gonna get into our pigeon. Buddy, I'm filming. All right, get into our pigeon. I'm so sorry. You just came out, huh? And relax for a little bit. That was intense. It's hard to talk to arm balance. All right. Now we're gonna send the right leg out. Inhale. Heel to bum. Exhale. All right, inhale. Exhale. Now you could drop the left forearm down for a deeper stretch and a relaxing stretch. At least for me. And extend. Whoo! All right, in that video, I did flying pigeon on the right leg up, but we're gonna switch it up on the other side. So we already worked on that right glutes. I want to work on the left glutes up. Okay, wiggle your pigeon. I know, if you're not able to follow along with everything that I'm saying, I know it's a lot complicated. It's okay, you'll get this one day. Okay, step the left leg back. Knees back, push back. Child's pose, and we're gonna do more spinal waves. Roll your spine forward and roll it back. Roll forward and back. Okay, coming into our downward facing dog, tabletop, lift the knees up, hips up, downward facing dog. Feet together. Breathe in, breathe out. Now find your center here. Just find a little bit of stillness. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, open your mouth and you're gonna sigh it all out. Option to do lion's breath with me. That's a good one to really let go of any tension. Inhale. Lion's breath, sticking your tongue out, facing back. Good. Okay, when you're ready, your right leg lifts up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to your chest. And then you're gonna cross that right leg on top of the left thigh as you push back. Figure 4. Inhale. Exhale, you're gonna hop yourself forward. Good. Left foot will now be in between your hands, right? It's kind of more of like a tripod base. So it's not left foot is on my left, right? That's a great technique. So if you find that triangle base, you will be able to lean forward. So you're stacking your shin on top of your upper arm, right? So on top of the elbow. From there, find that weight, right? So now you will see, you can actually, there's a little cheat here. Your left knee can touch the left elbow to start, right? So if you're used to this, so you could actually start here and then lifting the back foot, finding your balance like this, right? But again, if you can do the flying pigeon with me, then we're gonna do that, okay? But if you can't, what I showed you is a good way to start. Okay, leaning forward, and then from there, I like to bend my left knee first, and then what drives all the way up to straighten that left leg is my left butt cheek, the left glutes, right? And then bend, and then back to that shape, figure 4, and we could actually maybe fold, changing it up. And then dropping your right knee in front, and we're gonna get the pigeon on this side just to even it out. Good. Inhale. Exhale, down. Right forearm in front of you, parallel to the mat or the tops, and then you're gonna grab the back foot, bend the knee. Inhale. And then exhale. You could even stretch here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to bend heel to bum. And then stay here. We're gonna find a little bit of stillness and rest. Release that foot. Good. And coming into your sleeping pigeon. So just stay here, catching the breath, finding your center here. Because that was intense. Okay, when you're ready for our next chapter of this video, we're gonna get into our wheel pose. I know there's so many peak poses. That's why this is really, I don't know if you guys can follow along. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, because I want to know where you're at and how much you're liking this type of videos. Okay, all right, we're gonna get into our wheel pose, and maybe I'm gonna do a little different approach from the flow. So we're gonna work out our wheel pose. Okay, so hands plant down to your down dog shape, shoulders distance, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee and hips, plank. Good. We're gonna first engage our core in a plank so that we can get into our wheel. Okay, so again, rainbow shape with your upper spine or upper body. You're gonna squeeze the butt cheeks down, and you're gonna hold this position for 10, 9, 8, rainbow shape, 7, 6, 5, 4, squeeze the glutes, 3, 2, and 1. Whoo! Drop the knees down, and then back to child's pose. Relax for a little bit. And then when you're ready, how I entered my wheel is we're gonna mimic that. If you can't do this enter or this this entrance, then just go onto your normal wheel pose, right? Maybe onto your bridge and then up. But if you can follow along, we're gonna start with the left hand. I have a lot of wheel poses on how I entered this way. You could check that one out. Just type in on my search, on the search bar of my channel, wheel pose, and you'll see all of the wheel poses in a class. Left hand will be here. So more onto the right side of the mat. Fingertips are gonna face the opposite direction of the mat, okay? So from here, you're gonna come onto the knees. Left knee down, extend the right leg out. Okay, from here, you're going to try to see if you could actually bend this way, right? If you could get this bend, then you probably can get into the wheel pose this way, okay? So from here, step onto the right foot now, and you're going to come up. So left, kind of like doing a side plank first, right? So lift the left knee up. You're gonna be both now onto your feet. And then from here, your right hand will come all the way up and down, and then finding your wheel pose. Good. So you could either go here, or what I did in that flow, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have my hair covering it, but it's like more like this. Right? So it's gonna depend on your shoulder mobility. If you can't, just go onto the traditional wheel this way. Okay? All right. Now we're gonna do a little bit of wheel exercise. Your feet are just hip distance apart, and then your knees, being mindful that you don't want it all the way out. You kind of want to really engage it by squeezing them towards your midline. And then now you're going to find that elbows that are straight, right? When you push your elbows to straight up all the way, you're going to really feel that you're gonna push your hips towards the direction of your head, right? Okay, so now we're gonna relax, bend the elbows, and then push back. Okay, bend the elbows, push back. This is just to strengthen your wheel and up. Okay, now when you're here, you're gonna step your feet towards where you can actually get your three-legged wheel rather, right? So your left foot first, bringing it to your center. So you're now gonna create a tripod base, right? Your hand and your foot are in a triangle shape so you can lift the right leg up. Inhale, kick it all the way up. And exhale, squeeze everything to straighten and tense your body. Really strong legs. Okay, and then switch sides. Right foot down and left foot, bend the knee. Left leg rather. Inhale, stretch everything. Exhale, whoo! That left butt cheek is working all the way to get that leg straight up. Point the toes and all the way down. Whoo! You can come down however you like. I'm gonna exit how I entered. Whew, that was intense to talk. I hope you were able to follow along. And then we're gonna have our Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, feet together. My battery is gonna die, so maybe we're gonna end here. We're gonna do more maybe next time, okay? Whew. Inhale, exhale, all the way to fold, butterfly pose. I like this to really open up my hips. You could even come into your butterfly wings to fly or flutter, right? And to feel very mobile hips. So yummy. Inhale, exhale. All right. Okay, you guys, we still have a little bit of time in my camera or my battery, so we're gonna do plow pose. That was the ending of that flow. Plow pose after a deep back bend. All right, so we're gonna come onto our backs down on your mat. Woohoo! All right, then from here, you're just gonna extend your hands or your feet all the way towards your face, right? And that plow pose was on 7 times the speed, so or somewhere there, but it was super sped up. But I really like to stay in the plow pose to help my body relax. So feel your backs of the legs, and now I want you to get a pointed toes. And if I don't know if you're seeing it in the camera, but my legs are very much shaking from the wheel pose and from the whole flow. So what I like to do in my plow is to really lift my bum up. So to do that, you could have your hands plant down and then just lift your bum, right? All the way to where you can actually maybe drop now your feet. Otherwise, you can also just stay in your plow and hug your legs, lifting the butt up. And we can end here just to counteract that wheel pose. All right, that is it for this class. I hope you enjoy that. It's really intense. There's a lot of peak poses in that class. Typically, you know, when you go to classes, right, it's just a few peak poses. But I hope you were able to follow along. You could always go back on this video, check on each chapter. So maybe if you want to polish a certain chapter of the class. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure that before you leave, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye! Hi, bye. Bye-bye, you. Buddy, don't you miss Mama? You were next to Papa the whole time, huh? You miss Mama?